It was an early morning in Ponyville. Kovu had just arrived to Sugar Cube Corner to buy some bread for breakfast. The reason why he went there so early in the morning? Well, Twilight literally forgot to buy some bread the day before, so she asked Kovu if he could be so kind go to Sugar Cube Corner to buy some bread for their breakfast, since Sugar Cube Corner really opens around 6 in the morning, so he didn't mind. So he went there, and when he walked in, "Hi, Kubo. Morning, Pinkie. So, what can I help you with?" "Actually, I'm here from an early errand." "Oh, let me guess. Cupcakes?" She joked. Not really. I'm actually here to buy some bread for breakfast." "Oh, I thought Twilight did that already." Uh, about that. Funny story, she really forgot to buy that yesterday, so she asked me if I could do this morning, which I didn't mind. So, yeah. Well, we have all kinds of bread here. Did you say in a particular bread you wanted? Not really, actually. Just told me to go to Shiku Corner, find some bread for breakfast. But if I have to say, full grain bread is probably the best option to pick from, and more healthier than white bread. Am I right, Pinkie? Yes, you're right on that, Coville. So, one loaf of one loaf of bread then? Yeah, that would be enough. Sure. Give me a moment. And Pinkie then prepared the loaf of bread to Kubo. As Kubo was just standing there by the counter, looking around and could smell the fresh baked cupcakes, pies, and everything else sweet. That actually made him even a lot more hungrier. But after he served the bread, he paid for it and he said goodbye. But there was also another reason he really wanted to go. Not because that Twilight asked him. She could have even have sent Spike to do it, but the reason is why is because Kubo were in love with Pinkie. Ever since he moved to Ponyville about 2 years ago, he really had fallen in love with Pinkie ever since the first time he saw her. Her kindness, her unique personality was one of the few things that really attracted her to him. But he hasn't even told her about his true feelings yet. Or in fact, the only pony that knows about this is Twilight. But she had made a Pinkie promise not to even reveal this secret to any pony, not even Spike. After breakfast, Twilight thanked Kubo for buying the bread, and she did ask him one thing after shortly Spike had left the kitchen. "So, did you tell her?" "No, I couldn't even bring myself to do it." "You know, one day you may have to do that. You know that?" "I know. It's just, I don't know how even otherwise to do it. You know how hyper she is, and I mean, what if she doesn't even like me the same way? You don't know that until you asked her. You know that, right?" "Yeah, I know. But I'm planning to do it quite soon, actually." "I hope so, because I had understanding for what Pinkie is that even she's longing for some companionship. Really?" "Yeah, she has. It happened from time to time she mentioned that she first thought that cheese sandwich would be her true love, but she did confess to him at one point." "Really? She did?" "She did, but she took it very hard when he said no, that he only liked her as a friend." "Oh, yeah, I can understand that. That was even that long ago, right, though?" Twilight shook her head and said, "No, it was only like a couple of months ago. If you remember when the short time when she was how much it did when she smiled, but you could sense that she was sad. Right. Now you mention it, yeah, I remember that. I tried to do my best by cheering her up, or at least telling her some jokes, but I wasn't sure if that even worked or not. I mean, she did laugh, but I don't know if there was even real laughter or if she make make fake one or something. But I just don't know if she'd even want to date me. I mean, I don't even a pony. I don't think that it would even matter, to be honest. I think she even wouldn't even date a griffin if she would even have the opportunity. Really, if you think so? Definitely not that. I mean, Pinkie is a very unique of herself, so I don't think she would even, no, reject the idea. But even if there might not even be a long-term relationship between you and Pinkie, you should really take the opportunity to ask her. You know what? I will do that today instead. Well, go for it. So around noon, Kubo actually went back to Shikuku's corner, and he was surprised there were no customer at that moment because it was around lunchtime, and Pinkie was surprised to see him there again. Let me guess, more bread? Not this time actually, Pinkie. I'm here for a different reason. Oh, well, tell me. Well, you remember what happened a couple of months ago? A couple of months ago? Any particular reason? Thing? Pinkie asked with a smile. Um, when you confessed to cheese sandwich, that smile faded away, but brought back another smile as she could. Yeah, I remember that. But it's in the past now. What about it? Well, the thing is, then he told her about his true feelings for her. She was stunned. She really looked at him with big eyes like, I understand if you don't even like me the same way, Pinkie. I wanted to tell you about my feelings. But I might probably leave for now. So, well, at least you know where I feel. But before he can even leave, she shouted out to him, Wait! And she rushed up to him and said, Are you serious about this? Yeah, I am actually. What? Are you really want to date me? Of all ponies in town? You know how unique you are? Yeah. That is the things that really much attracts me to you. Your kindness, unique personality, the hyper of you, but most of all, the willingness to spread smiles. You're opposite from what I really would have been attracted to. Thanks. So, you really want to go out with me then? Yeah, I do. How about maybe a dinner or something like that tonight? About 6 p.m.? Sure, that sounds good. So after he left, he felt like he was on cloud nine. He was really happy because he didn't even expect that Pinkie would say yes. But when he went back to the castle, he immediately reported back to Twilight about this good luck, and she was like, Well, didn't I tell you? If you didn't even ask her, you would even know for sure if she said yes or no. Uh, yep, you're really right on that one, Twilight. But I am really glad that I did tell her. Well, did I tell you though? You should have. Yeah. So that evening, he actually went with Pinkie to the restaurant in town just to have a good time. In fact, there were not even any awkward between them. They laughed, just having a good time. They enjoyed the dinner, and even afterwards, they took a small walk before he walked with her back to Shikaku's corner. There, she kissed him on the cheek and said, You know what? I haven't had this good time in a long time, actually. And I would like to be your girlfriend if you want to. that was really fast, he thought. But it didn't reject that idea, and he said yes. They then shared their first kiss as a official couple, and it didn't even take long for the rest of the friends and the rest of town's ponies to find out about them. I mean, it's a small town, and news spread fast in Ponyville. And even just shortly after this, Pinkie suddenly one day received a letter. It was from her family. They had been informed by her by letter that she is now dating Kovu, and her parents wanted to meet him just for like a first meeting. And when he was told about it from her, he was like, "Are you sure this early is ready to meet your parents? I mean, it's not like I'm asking them for your permission to marry you or something like that. Of course not. They will be just happy to see you. I mean, I know for a fact that your sister Maud lives here in Ponyville. I mean, I met her many times, and we get along well. Yeah, but you hadn't even met my two sisters, Limestone Pie, Marble Pie, and Paris. True. So when is the meeting supposed to happen, though? Next week on a Friday. Okay. So when that day came, though, he was more nervous now on the train all the way to the Pie family's rock farm. But he was actually told by Pinkie not to be worrying about this because she really needed to very much relaxing. And when he did end up meeting her family, the whole rest of the family, he was understandable, kind of calm then. And even though Limestone might be a little bit too harsh sometimes, but she did accept him as Pinkie's boyfriend. She only tested him just to be sure if that he was really serious about being with Pinkie, if he could even handle her unique personality, which she said that he did. And, well, it was just something really good and, well, it was just something Pinkie really had hoped to meet. And even though that Pinkie was mostly working at Chicago Corner, it happened that they weren't unable to go on any days off and either, due to the fact of her work, and that the fact she was working as a teacher at School of Friendship as well. So that also made it sometimes a bit hard for them to actually date or even go on dates. But the weekends were the only among the few days in a week that they did able to do so. And even for Kovu, one day he received a letter from his family, and he had informed them about his relationship with Pinkie. When Pinkie was informed about this, she was quite excited to meet his family. So they went to the Lion's Kingdom. She was actually quite happy to meet not only his parents but also his six siblings. Because Pinkie easily bonded with Kubo's siblings and his parents. And they were actually really happy to meet her, even though Kubo's mom told him that she was very unique of her personality. It was like exactly what he described her in a letter about his relationship with Pinkie. And he was just happy that not only the family was very excited about this, and it was just something really quite excited. But then something happened. One day Pinkie received a letter from Limestone that her dad was sick and she needed to be back at the farm to help with some of the rock farm for for about a week or two. And she did inform Kovu about this. Of course, he was a bit sad that she had to go, but it was only for a couple of weeks at most, so. But even during this time away from each other, they kept in touch by letters. And after like 2 to 3 weeks, it was a very bad case of the flu or something like that. Pinkie was back after just a couple of weeks as normal. And to make up it, Pinkie took with Kovu out for dinner to make it up to him after being gone for so long. But he told her that she even had to because she really knows, he really knows how much she cared about him. But even after all this, there was a lot of things about their relationship made even stronger. Their trust and their kindness to each other. After being dating for about 4 years, Kovu felt it was time to propose to her. So he took her to the meadows for a picnic to celebrate their 4th anniversary. He actually had packed some things that he had made. Well, with help from Twilight and Spike. But the gesture was, well, the kindness. After they just finished their snacks and all that, they sat on a blanket just watching the view when he did propose to her. Pinkie said yes immediately. It was no doubt that she would never even say no, because in her thoughts, she may never even come across another individual like Kovu to marry, other from she's Sandwich, who turned her down a while back. But she was happy. They informed their friends and families all about this. They were all happy, especially Kovu's mother and his six siblings. Pinkie had asked Fluttershy to be her maid of honor, Pink and Twilight to be the one to perform the ceremony. Of course, who would else be Kovu's best man? That would be Spike. And they just had a great time. And even at the wedding reception party afterwards, every pony could see how happy they were together. They were just so happy. Even afterwards, Pinkie's family welcomed Kovu into the family, and Kovu's family did the same thing for Pinkie. Later, they went to Baltimore for 2 weeks for the honeymoon, and they had just a great time. But it was really something both of them really wanted to. And just 2 years after they got married, they wanted to start a family, but they were told they were unable to have any children of their own. So they decided to adopt. They went to Canterlot for an adoption agency. There, they were told that they needed to wait for time to be if they'd be approved or not. Shortly, they were approved. They were in fact approved. They were able to adopt 2 children, a boy and a girl, siblings. Pinkie was really happy to be a mother of her own, even though they was her adopted children. Kovu, he was really happy, not only to be married with Pinkie, but to be a father of his own family. It was one of the best things ever. He realized if he had even confessed his feelings for Pinkie, none of this would even be possible. Meaning, he would even be married with his true love and even have a family with her. Pinkie was happy with that when he did confess to her. And Pinkie, she was just happy to be with the one that she loved the most of all too. And this is how Kovu and Pinkie Pie find a true love, got a big family together. The end.